All right, so here's the title of the episode. I don't know what else to call it. Is giving yourself permission to be epic, and I'm also going to talk about a little bit about self-care, something I'm learning about as well. And let me start this by telling you a story about yesterday. My business partner, Jason Van Orden, he said, "Hey, have you read this book called No Sweat by Michelle Segar, I believe is her name." CC, what's up? And I hadn't, so I heard and got it. He said, yeah, download the audio while you're waiting for the book. And I listened to maybe 2 hours of it last night. And one of the things it made me realize is that the one thing I had been able to give myself permission to succeed in business maybe 11 years ago. Whatever reason I was able to do it, I was able to have that mindset shift to give myself permission, which was actually quite hard because if you think about it, almost every society that I can think of starts us off as kids saying you have to get permission from someone else, some authority above you. Hey, oh, thank you so much for inviting people. Radio Free New York, what's up? So we've been trained from the very, very beginning to get permission from others rather than being able to understand that we can give ourselves permission for certain things. So what ends up happening is by the time you become an adult, you're so used to basically having an authority of some sort, whether it's parents, teachers, whatever authority it is, we're so used to having somebody tell us when it's okay to do stuff. I think what happens is we forget that there's a time when it switches and we have the authority to give ourselves permission for things. So I try and think of this from time to time and remember that I actually can give myself permission. And actually in our show, Internet Business Mastery, and in our courses and stuff, we sometimes actually kind of as a joke, as a way to remind people that they have permission, they get to choose permission. We'll say, and by the way, you have permission to succeed now. You can do this now. You're an adult. You can decide it right now, and that's the permission. That's the only permission you need. Hey, Dakira, what's up? So that kind of idea of the fact that we have to remember that we can give ourselves permission to do anything epic, no matter what it is, whether it's, starting an online business and succeeding at that online business, or taking care of ourselves, or, whatever the epic dream or goal is, we just have to give ourselves permission to do that. That's the thing I was thinking about this morning, because as I was listening to that book, No Sweat by Michelle Segar, I believe is her name, she talked about the hierarchy of needs. Now, has everybody heard of the hierarchy of needs? I believe it's by Abraham Maslow. Permission granted. Done. Have you guys all heard of that? Yes? Let me show you it just in case for those. Yeah, Maslow. I'm going to try and show it to you here. All right, let's see if I can do this. All right, so there they are right there. And the reason I wanted to kind of show this to you, so the bottom, we've got psychological needs. It's not really focusing well. All right, so the bottom is psychological needs. All right, so what Segar talks about is a hierarchy of self-care. And this was the thing I was really, I went on this like maybe hour walk this morning and an hour and a half walk last night listening to her book. And she was talking about this, the hierarchy being able to figure out what is that one thing you need to do every single day for you to consider yourself cared for. Some people, it might be sleep. You've got to get that 8 hours of sleep to be able to have a fantastic, or as I would say, obviously epic day. Some people, they have to get their exercise in. And I realize my absolute top one is I have to learn. That's my absolute top thing. And then probably sleep is next. I got about 7 hours last night and I was feeling a little laggy today. But one of the things that she said is you have to give yourself permission to take care of yourself, which seems really strange. Yeah, that's a great one. So It seems really strange to even think of that, but I realized that when I started my business journey about 11 years ago, I was so focused on the outcomes that I wanted that I didn't take care of myself. I actually put that aside and thought I needed to segregate everything and take all that time to do business. 5 hours of sleep here, definitely not good. Yeah, so, and it's funny because considering sleep is my second thing, I'm going to study that even more. That's going to be the next thing. But I decided, I was just thinking about that. How weird is that I didn't give myself permission to take care of myself? Like I was like, I have to take care of my family. I have to make this business thing work. And that's how I was for the first 2 years especially. Well, what ended up happening is, here it is 11 years later, I gained weight, health stuff, it, wasn't a top priority for me, and I would absolutely sacrifice, which is another thing we're taught, to sacrifice ourselves for everyone else. So I just sacrificed everything to be able to do those things. FYI, Sean Stevenson is a great place to start with sleep. Yes, actually, I did know that. That's on my list. Yeah, that's a good point. My own health got out on the back burner. You're on point with that. Permission to take care of yourself. And see, I didn't do that. Again, I was segregating everything. I thought, well, when I become financially free or financially successful, then I'll take care of myself, which is actually what I've been working on. But like I segregated that. I didn't give myself permission to be integrated, which is what I'm absolutely trying to do now. And I hate the word balance because I don't believe in balance. A lot of people say you got to be balanced. That's how I feel about business. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think everything has to be exactly equal. I'm trying to integrate everything. So while I'm doing business, one of the things we've been talking about, if you've watched me before, is we talk about habits and being able to create tiny habits, micro habits, whatever you want to call them. So I've been integrating that anytime I go check Facebook, I go do 2 push-ups afterwards. So I'm trying to integrate my health with even what I do for business, because about 90% of what I do on Facebook is business. So I'm trying to integrate those things. But the idea of self-care is the next big thing I'm focused on. And again, with learning is my absolute base. So what is yours? That's the thing to try and think of. What is yours, and how can you give yourself permission to actually do whatever that take care habit is? Hey, what's going on? Welcome. Another Paul joined. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. So again, what do you think is your base? And if you don't know, I would totally suggest getting that No Sweat book by Michelle Segar. Yes, Michelle Segar. I just ordered it. It's funny because I ordered it so that I could go through and highlight it and mark it up, because I went to her site, and let me put her site up real quick here and tell you. I watched a video last night. It's literally like a 3-minute video, and it's at michellesegar.com. And she says, "Do you have the wrong why?" And it was like a 3-minute video, and it was so good to me that I instantly bought the book, got the audio so that I could listen to that while I'm waiting for the book. And I've been about 3 hours into it already. That sounds like just what I need now. Now, yeah, she's focused on physical health and what all the science is, that basically everything we've learned about how you're supposed to physically be healthy is, of course, counterintuitive. It's wrong. Yeah, michellesegar.com. Thank you. But that's what triggered me to look into all this. Sleep, I think. I regularly get 5 hours and drag daily. I'm not as effective. Yeah, it's funny because all the stuff I've read about sleep is it needs to be at least 7.5 to 8 hours for most people. And some people need 9 or 10 hours every night. So again, mine's learning. That's the bottom one. That's why I'm actually reading the 3 to 5 books a week and just immersing myself in knowledge. I have to have that. And the second one, sleep. I need 9, says Jason. That is awesome. At least you know. And so some of the stuff, yeah, sleep's huge for me too. See, some people, and it's almost like lucky to me, some people, their base is exercise. They have to do that first. That's the thing that triggers them to go, okay, now I'm going to have an awesome day or an epic day. Learning is right behind that, right? So it's swapped with us, right? Because mine's learning and then sleep. So I'm able to do my 3 to 5 books a week, and I'm just constantly reading, and that has to happen no matter what. No matter what's going on in my day, whether it's, let's say, Christmas Day or some big family event, I always, at the very least, am listening to a podcast and stuff. A good shower, as weird as that is, yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, that thing to, get you going in the morning, I guess. But anyway, so that's just the concept, then nutrition, and then exercise. Wow, yeah. Congratulations is what I would say on that, because nutrition's a little bit up higher for me. But anyway, so that book, I'm excited to get it and go through and find what my, let's say, top 5 hierarchy of needs are. My brain shuts down if I can't get sleep, and then learning is over. And it's the same here. I have to read or listen daily. Yeah, that is absolutely my top thing. So then it's a matter of giving your permission to do that every single day, no matter what else is going on. I feel as if my day is off if I haven't learned first, right? Yeah, me too. So that's why, I got up about 5 a.m. today and put the earbuds in and went on a walk listening to that No Sweat book. What book are you referring to? Okay, it's called No Sweat by Michelle Segar. Yeah, No Sweat, there it is. So, gosh, I'm actually already almost done with the book, and I just started it yesterday. And actually, in case you're wondering, to my 3 to 5 books that I read each week, audiobooks, I actually don't count them in that 3 to 5 unless it's a biography, which that's what I listen to biographies, and then I actually read all the rest of the books. And this is one I'm absolutely going to go through and highlight and take it through the steps that I talked about in another one of my scopes. So anyway, I guess I just wanted to kind of ramble on about the idea of giving yourself permission and start thinking about what your hierarchy of needs are, and give yourself permission to actually get that hierarchy taken care of. Self-care every day. You are a machine. Yeah, I love it. I don't count audiobooks when I'm listening to how-to books, because my retention is much, much lower. Whereas when I can listen to a biography, I can remember stories or main points to stories pretty well, but I can't remember the 7 tips they might give you in a how-to book. So if a how-to book is really good, I want to be able to mark it up and do what I need to do to be able to retain the information, or then it's just more entertainment and I forget it. Wow, and I thought I was doing great, sometimes reading 3 to 5 books a month. Hey, we got to start wherever we start. Hey, Jeremy, do you listen to music while you read? No, I'm one of those people that I need dead quiet. Like where I bought my house is in this private neighborhood where actually most people are probably 55 and older, and they're dead quiet. I never hear anything. I don't hear dogs. I don't hear anything. And that's how I have to work. That's how I have to do a lot of things, because my mind needs to be very focused. I can't have other noise going. Like, I also can't go to coffee shops to work because it's just the noise gets me. I love physical books, so I can highlight and even write a journal. That's awesome. Yeah, as you can see, I do too. And if the book is really good, I guess basically if a book is what I would give a 4-star or a 5-star, then I go really in detail. I make notes. And again, I did a scope recently about my exact procedure of getting the information really in my head. Have you read The Martian? No, I haven't read that yet. I'm not really doing a lot of fiction right now. I'm mostly, got a lot of how-to and a lot of classic learning books and different things. I'd love to look at your library. Well, let me see. I'm starting to put up some of my favorite stuff. Let me put it up here. Jeremy. At jeremyfranson.com, it's FRANDSEN. I have a book. So if you go jeremyfranson.com/books, you can see some of my top books. I'm starting to put this together for you. Love that scope on books, how you read books. I didn't see the rest of that. I am going to write a blog and make an entire video about it at some point. I'm still developing in it and try and find out, because I don't want to just read the books for the sake of reading a book. I want to integrate it. I want at least the one main idea. I want to actually put it into my life and take action on it. Or again, it's a waste. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't have these books just so it looks cool per se. I want to actually know something. James Swanwick reads a book a day and has a similar process. I'm not sure who that is, but that's awesome. A book a day. I could do that if I moved down the amount of time I put into a book. I'm reading a lot of books that are so good now, a lot of 4 and 5 level books, that once I go, oh my gosh, this is awesome, I have to take another pass and go really, really deep into it, then it takes me a little bit longer to get through it. But yeah, this last month, so it's the end of the month today, and this last month I was able to do 13 books. So yes, Todd Henry talks about how he has 3 processes for a book. Yes, and I do a reprocess as well. You know, every once in a while I'll come back to them. Yeah, it starts with skims. I can't absorb that much. I'm a slow reader because I really absorb the material. Yeah, I don't read that much fiction either, but The Martian was amazing. Oh, the Audible was great. Yeah, I would probably do it Audible-wise. I'm going through a lot of biographies now, but I'll remember that. Thanks for that recommendation. Can you talk about your hierarchy of needs? Yeah. Let's see. I just read the front to back. I just read from front to back. Yeah. I would say I definitely don't do it quite that way. And in that other scope, I talked about how I do it. I'll read from front to back if it's a 5+ level book. Mostly I'm looking for that specific main idea or 5 set of ideas, and then I want to implement it fast. And a lot of times I don't read a lot of the stories because I want to get to what the thing is and then figure out how I can use it. I need to get faster at reading so much. Yeah, and I consider it smart reading as opposed to speed reading every single word. I'm scanning for main ideas a lot of times until I know that the book is really, really good. And then I'll go far more in detail. Now, talk about the hierarchy of needs. Now, the self-care hierarchy of needs is what I'm talking about from the Michelle Segar book. And my base level one is learning. For me, and then it's probably sleep, and the book is still on its way. I've only listened to it so far. When I get the book, I'm going to make my top, let's say 5 or whatever she says to make in that book. I'll make those and then maybe talk about it in another scope. And I do this almost every morning at this exact time. I saw Wayne Dyer died. I didn't even know that. I actually just saw something of his just recently. His was the first personal development book I ever read, and then it was Anthony Robbins, and that's terrible if he died. I haven't noticed that today, but anyway, so that's my hierarchy. Again, a lot of people seem to have learning and sleep as theirs. Who was it that said that you had to exercise? Somebody had to exercise. Yeah, I just read that in the news. Oh wow. Haven't checked Twitter or anything yet. That's where I get my news, so we'll have to see that. But so today, definitely think of what is that base level, and then I would say give yourself that permission. And by the way, if this is your first time watching me, definitely go down, tap the little person icon, and then follow me. And I'm going to talk far more about this. I talk about all the different things that have to do with designing an epic life, whether it's starting an internet business, whether it's habits, things like today, self-care, giving yourself permission, Facebook news. Yeah, already done. Well, thank you. Welcome. I've got so much more to come. I won't be able to get back into this book probably until Wednesday because I'll get it tomorrow, and I'll probably process most of it Tuesday or Wednesday, and then either Wednesday or Thursday talk about more. Can you name your favorite Dr. Wayne book? Let's see. I started with Your Erroneous Zones, which I actually, as a 19-year-old or 18-year-old boy, when I saw it, thought it was Your Erogenous Zones. So I was like, oh, what's this? That was my first one. I think You'll See It When You Believe It. I think that was one of my favorites. that actually started a whole belief system that allowed me to quit college and go right to Hollywood, which was my dream at that time. And it was because of that book, and also a book about Steven Spielberg, where he said he snuck onto the Universal lot. So I read that, and then I was reading the Wayne Dyer book about You'll See It When You Believe It, which made me go, oh, I can do that. If Steven Spielberg, as an 18-year-old kid, you're like, oh, if somebody else can do it, I'll do it, right? And so I totally went and did that exact thing because of that Wayne Dyer book. What's your favorite Wayne Dyer book? I know he has like 500 of them or something like that. He's got a lot. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate it. And we're about you guys are about 5 seconds behind me, so there you go. Has anybody actually read the No Sweat book? I think it came out actually 2 months ago, so it's rather new. I'm just going to show you one more thing. Hey, and by the way, if you want to be a part of my community about this Epic Life stuff, definitely go to Facebook, type in Epic Life Quest, and you should see that group. Ask to join. I'll go in and let anybody in that watches this. No, it sounds awesome though. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. Again, I'm probably about 3/4 of the way through listening to the audiobook. Oh my gosh, I just realized you guys aren't even hearing my mic. Not that I guess it matters now. That better? Yeah, so if that book sounds good, definitely go get that Amazon right now. Requested to join. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, and I post some of the other stuff, like I will post her page, Michelle Segar's page, where she talks about You Have the Wrong Why, which was absolutely fascinating, and it was the wrong why about exercise. Sounds better. Louder. That's all we need is me louder, but yeah, there we go. I've got to remember to plug that in. That's twice I've messed that up in 2 weeks, but nice bass. Yeah, we could hear you before, but it's louder now. Yeah, definitely better mic. Yeah, this iPad that I just got to be able to do this definitely has a better mic than the mini iPad that I had before. So, will you maybe share some of the main ideas from the book? Yes, I'm actually thinking of maybe once or twice a week sharing whatever the best book from the week before that I read, sharing maybe the 1 to 3 main points, and then we could kind of talk about it, talk about how to integrate that main point into our life. You have a warm voice. All right. Epic book summaries. Yep, that's what I've been considering. And the idea actually came from, there's something that I do. Here's another part of the reading process. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yes, that is something I'll consider. I'm still trying to design what my schedule is or whatever, or what days I'm going to do what. Maybe I'll do that on Wednesdays or something like that. But again, I'll have replays if you're not able to catch it. It is kind of an odd thing to be live every single day. What's your favorite Malcolm Gladwell book? I'm going to have to think about that. It's been a while since I've actually read Malcolm Gladwell. Yeah, I can't think of all of his books right now. But one of the things I was going to tell you, like what I did today, since that Michelle Segar book, No Sweat, hasn't come yet, I actually went to a cool site that I'm a member of called Philosopher's Notes. And it's, I believe his name's Brian Johnson. He actually does a summary of a lot of the main business books and meditation books and habit books and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times, if I see a whole list of, let's say with the habit books, I saw all the different, I saw 25 or 30 books that I was interested in. Sometimes I will go download his notes first, go through them and see if the main points that he talks about is interesting enough for me to buy the book so that I can go through and do my process. So that's what I did today with the No Sweat book. I went through and looked through and read his entire, it's just like a 6-page summary, Philosopher's Notes. And I think, let me get his actual site name, Brian. Yeah, it's Brian Johnson .me. And you can see that, yeah, there we go. And that's sometimes how I start. If I'm not totally sure if the book's good enough or I haven't been recommended it by somebody, like like last night, the reason I just got that No Sweat book right away was because Jason Van Orden, my business partner, he said you should totally get this book. It's right up your alley with all the habit stuff that you're doing. So I just went and ordered it right then. But sometimes I'm not sure. I'll go into his, read the philosopher's notes, and then see. Yeah, it's an awesome resource. Here's the other cool thing, and it's an awesome business model. At some point, I might do something very similar. And what he also does is, Brian Johnson, he will do a 10-minute video where he basically goes over his notes as well. But then he draws things out on the board. Like he even talked about this hierarchy of self-care needs and kind of went through each of them and all that kind of stuff, which is really cool. It is a great resource. I think it's like $10 a month. I absolutely love the model, and I think I might be at some point doing something very similar with the Epic Life stuff. Now, his notes, he gives his ideas on it as well, so he'll give one of the main ideas and then talk about it. Most of the time I actually just skip and do the main ideas. Dang, missed you answering my question. I'm at work. God, what was your question again? I think it was about Malcolm Gladwell. If it was the Malcolm Gladwell, I can't remember what his main one is. Malcolm. I'll watch in the backup. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm just looking at my Evernote because I put all my notes in my Evernote. Outliers, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed Outliers, although one of the thing about Outliers, I remember him talking about how, let me think, that's the one where he talked about how, hockey people, the people that were the best at hockey were the ones that were born right in the first month that they allowed the next year of kids because they were always older and a little bit bigger and a little bit faster, right? That was that one. That was a weird one to think about. Outliers and David and Goliath are best. Yeah, interesting. I haven't actually read David and Goliath. I'll have to put that one on my list as well. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll let you go for today. But again, be thinking about that bottom layer, that very first layer of your hierarchy of self-care needs, and give yourself permission to do it. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Again, thanks so much for the hearts. Make sure to follow. Again, you can click the little guy and just click the plus circle, I guess it is, next to my name, and you'll be able to get notifications of when I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to possibly also do this randomly. I might do 8 a.m., but I've been hearing that afternoons, like 4 p.m. My time, is a time where a lot more people happen to be on as well. Later, yeah, goodbye, have a great day. So I might be doing that as well. I might kind of move around, but I'm putting all my replays on YouTube. I'll tell you soon what that is. Also, definitely go in and join the Facebook group, Epic Life Quest. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you later.